What's up, everyone? It is Diecastbuffet here again, guys. We have a 2015 Kevin Harvick Xfinity Series diecast to Morton Buildings Chevrolet Camaro for JRM. Let's go ahead and check it out. And here we go, folks, with today's diecast review of the 2015 Kevin Harvick Morton Buildings Chevrolet Camaro in the studio. One of those cool alternate paint schemes from his Xfinity racing days in the mid-2010s. People forget that Kevin Harvick, man, he had so many Busch Series, Nationwide Series, and Xfinity cars. I mean, this cat literally, I feel like he ran almost every week. You know, everybody thinks Kyle Busch or maybe a Joey Logano. They're sleeping on Kevin Harvick, how many times he raced. This is one of like 4 or 5 paint schemes to be released in 2015, just for the Xfinity Series, not even talking about his Cup Series program. You think Dale Jr. gets a lot of diecasts made. Kevin Harvick's up there as well. Awesome box design. You have this kind of smoky background effect, and you can very, very subtly see the Kevin Harvick name underneath the bold Kevin Harvick name. You can see it like there's the Harvick right there, and there's a Harvick underneath that. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get the diecast out of the box. I'll be right back. All right, folks, here we go with today's diecast review. And what a awesome looking paint scheme here. So one thing I really like about this car is the satin matte finish to it. Really, really cool stuff. You know, a lot of the paint schemes back then, they were almost all gloss. Nowadays, we see a lot of paint schemes that have this satin finish. You know, I think it's kind of modern car culture that's kind of influenced it. Like this Ross Chastain right here. This one has a very subtle sheen to it. It's not the same exact sheen. There is some gloss elements to this paint scheme, but the majority of it is kind of that matte finish to it. So it's really popular with a lot of the truck diecasts nowadays in 2025, a lot of the Cup cars. And I think it's just kind of car culture has really made like the matte finishes really popular. But I also think there is some performance-based improvements to it as well. Like right here, you can clearly see there's not much matte finish. I'm not really sure what happened there. But over here, you can see a lot of the matte finish. Got Xfinity right there. Got the Morton Buildings logo. And the reason why I say I think matte finishes and gloss finishes have difference in performance on the racetrack is because the wind is going to hit the finish of the car, right? If the front of the car is really glossy, the wind is going to glide across the nose of the diecast or the nose of the race car, thus creating more straight line speed. But if the wind, you know, the air you're racing through has any friction, I mean 1/1000th of a thousandth of friction, that creates downforce. So in theory, a car that would be matte finish would probably turn better at a Michigan, but have just a fraction less straight line speed at a Michigan compared to a fully gloss car. And to add another layer to this, we see this with some of Kurt Busch's monster paint schemes, how the front end of the car will be gloss and the rest of the car will be matte. They would do this a lot at like Daytona and Talladega. So that's just a little bit of my theory there. So you got Moog right there, got Mail, Comp, Edelbrock, and Sudoku. You have Chevrolet Camaro right there. I just noticed that little orange light. Is that a turn signal light? Did they actually put a turn signal light on the Camaro? That's amazing. So you have your yellow splitter there, which is very bright. Love that. Camaro, got the old school Camaro headlights. I say old school sarcastically. It's not been that long. Has it? This diecast was only released 10 years ago, guys. I remember all this NASCAR Xfinity races, man, and the Nationwide Series races. It'd be like Richmond, Texas, Kansas, whatever. And there's Kevin Harvick on the racetrack racing Brad Keselowski as they pass Kyle Busch. You know, that was a weekly thing back in them years. Nowadays, I mean, you know, it's kind of interesting how people will complain about maybe 1 or 2 Cup guys winning in 2025, maybe in the you know, the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Back then, 30 of the races were won by Cup guys. I'm just keeping it a stack, you know. It was cool if your favorite driver won, but man, if your favorite driver was one of the regulars, like if you were an Elliott Sadler diehard, or at the time a Regan Smith or Justin Allgaier or whoever, man, good luck. Got the number 88 right there. Gets Hunt Brothers Pizza, Morton Buildings, Armor, Great Clips. Not sure what that decal is there. NASCAR Xfinity Series, ARP. Mechanics for MSD, Simpson, 3M, Holly. You got Goodyear. You got Kevin Harvick with his social media handles. Get your B Post decal, which has Safety Clean and some other logos. Got Cup Series, or not Cup Series, excuse me, race car. Exalta. I mean, technically this could be looked at as a Cup car because a lot of these were heavily inspired off the Gen 5 chassis, so technically it's a Cup car just running in another series. American Ethanol right there in the back window. Or back window. I'm an idiot. Back panel. Wow, I'm all over the place, guys. Back panel of the diecast here. The actual back panel. Got Morton buildings there with the little TV camera in the middle. Got SEM above the 88 on the right side. Got racing electronics and Mac tools. You have Camaro. The decal's a little bit off there, but that's okay. And notice the spoiler here, man. Wow. Them spoilers for the Nationwide and Xfinity days were wild. Those are pretty cool. Go to the right side of the diecast here, and you have just a simple paint scheme. Just literally 2 stripes behind the JRM 88. It just, you know, it's really simple, and I like it. I think the matte finish looks pretty good on there. I wished it was a little bit better, a little bit more consistency, like right here. But again, maybe I just got, you know, one of them that, you know, was, you know, not good. But you never know. Sometimes these are production wide, sometimes they're not. Most of the time they're not, though, to be honest with you. Like, rarely do I see a production run have the entire run affected on one car. Like, what was it? Jeff Gordon's 2013 Imron. Is it Imron? I don't know. It was like a super matte finish car. And I want to say they might have even built it with one of the DuPont matte finishes. It's like super matte. And the whole car, it paint chips and it just feels really different. Sometimes things like that can be production wide. Sometimes it's just a couple of, you know, oddballs on the production line that, you know, the diecast got messed up, you know, the diecast itself being the oddball. So, I don't know if that's the case, but regardless, I mean, this car I think was only like 4 or 5. So, I mean, just fantastic value for an awesome Kevin Harvick alternate paint scheme, man. Make sure to tap it over there at Circle B. Pick up you some. They have this Hunt Brothers pizza car, the Armor Foods car. They have, oh my goodness, even the cars they drove at JRM that were the number 5 card as well. Then they have these Cup cars. I mean, they got all kinds of great stuff over there on the low. Got Morton Buildings right there on the roof of the diecast. Got Harvick, and you got Junior Motorsports right there on the deck lid. What a fantastic diecast, man! I tell you, it just really takes me back to the NBCSN days when they had NASCAR Xfinity races on that channel before that channel went bye-bye. And I remember, like, you know, you had the ESPN era, but it'd be like a random Richmond race, right? Back when they used to have a lot of night races for the Xfinity series. And it'd be like Friday night at Richmond in the spring of like 2013. And you would always see the 22 discount tire car. You would see a random Cup guy in a JRM car. And then whoever was driving the Joe Gibbs Racing Cup cars. Or, you know, Cup driver cars. So maybe it'd be like, you know, Kenseth in the 18 car and be Kyle Busch in the 54. Which I think of that year he was running for his own team. But my point is that this just takes me back to an era where the Cup guys would just go down and just steal wins. And I'll end my video on this. I remember being a fan of those years, and I used to look forward to tracks like Kentucky and Iowa like it was Daytona and Talladega. Why? Because the NASCAR Xfinity Series had a one-off Kentucky race. I think it was paired with IndyCar. So they would have usually no Cup guys, you know, full-time Cup guys in it. And then when they went to Iowa, I think the Cup Series was on the other side of the country or something, so they couldn't go most of the time. When they had those one-off events, you knew that a full-time young driver is going to win or a full-time veteran driver is going to win. One of them, right? Or it might be like a Sam Hornish Jr. that comes out of the woodwork and does, you know, a one-off start, in which Eric Almirola is kind of in that ballpark right now, that veteran guy that just kind of shows up and is really good. And in those years, it was amazing how I would get so excited for just a random Kentucky race in the summer. I remember when Truck Series would have a one-off race, I think it was Las Vegas in the fall. The Cup Series guys would run Vegas in the springtime, right? And they wouldn't return till the next spring, because this was back when they had one race day. In the fall in those years, they had a truck date that was literally the only one. So I really liked those one-off events because at the time, Cup guys could compete in 30-plus Xfinity races if they wanted to. Nowadays, they can only compete at 5 if they have like 3 years of Cup experience. So that's what it reminds me of, guys. A different time for sure. Thank y'all for watching the video. Have a blessed one, everybody. Like, comment, and subscribe. Diecast Buffet. Signing off.